Hello and welcome to Xbox Division 4 here at PPR. I am your commentator for the night, PPR Nick, and I'm glad to have all of you with me who may be joining right now or later in the night. But here we are at Germany, round number 11, I believe, in the calendar. If I'm wrong, let me know in the chat. But yeah, looking like we're going to have a clean and dry qualifying session, which is, I believe, only the second one we've had all week. We'll see if the race has any rain to throw at us. We will see. And there we go. Yes, Dark Ghost has retired from the session. Just to let everyone know, Dark Ghost is serving his qualifying ban that he picked up last week, unfortunately. So he'll be serving that tonight. As it looks like we have... We'll pick that up in a moment. Who's just leaving out the pits? It is the one and only Run the Jules here in Mercedes. Let's see if he can finish a race tonight. Let me know in the chat. Will Run the Jules finish the race, or will he retire? I'm going. It's about a 50-1 chance that he finishes the race, if anyone is betting on that. But we'll stick it on board right now with him. The Merc looks like he's going out there on the hards. Tire strat here for most of the drivers, if we're excluding safety cars, any extraordinary circumstances. Usually mediums to hards tire strat for the race. However, we might see some guys try to go soft to hards tonight. Not the optimal strategy call you're going to want to go for, but maybe after seeing our Xbox Division 2 race and seeing Money Hustler take his hards for 32 laps, maybe one of our drivers be a little bit ambitious here tonight. But here we go on board with Jules in the beautiful looking Mercedes as he engages DRS and is going to take it down a flyer through turn one. He's going to have to make sure that he does not invalidate right here. Yeah, playing it pretty safe. That's the one spot on the track many people will tell you you have to be careful about invalidating. It is so easy to get over that curve or take too much inside curve. But so far so good looking here for Jules. Oh, and catching a lot of oversteer there, and that looks like that's going to be the lap done for Mr. Jules. Oh, looks like Father Corn as well has invalidated his lap, presuming through turn number one, but looks like the Renault and banana boat of the coach, looking like he's it looks like he's going pretty slow right here. Probably letting by the McLaren, it seems like, of LDR Redeemer. He's also led by Groggy. So many of these guys yet to really start the laps. We'll take it up here now with SF, who's actually on the softs. Very interesting tactics here already from the Renault team. It's like SF is hard set on starting on the softs tonight. As I am now getting our weather report for the race, this is another dry session. I was kind of hoping to see some rain tonight, but maybe for the sake of our drivers, a clear quali and a race is going to be good for them. Let's see what SF crosses the line with our first lap of the night. It's going to be a 112.8 on the softs. Not the quickest time, but with Fantas doing 116.5, he's definitely want to go again as well. Looks like the Luxcord, our current points leader, out on his lap. His teammate of Groggy Oregano just setting a 114.3 on the hards. Not too shabby there for him, as the coach is setting a 132.4. So we have quite the abundance in different times here. We'll stick on board here with Deluxe, see what he can do. That is a 111.9 there for Deluxe Board. Very well done by him. Move it out. Take this back on down to the coach. Look, he's trying to improve on his time as well, going pretty far off the line. Like LDR Redeemer right in front of him is also on a lap. So we'll put it on right here with the McLaren. See what time Redeemer can put in for this session. As that was a 113.6 there from Redeemer. The coach falling right behind him in 6th, the 114.0. So still half our grid left to go, 6 minutes here into qualifying. Taking on board here with Funky Cactus. What can he put in? No time there. Looks like he may have invalidated. Maybe just trying to push, get a few laps out of those hards. Taking on board with his teammate of Vexing Track. See what he can do here off the final exit. And across the line for a P4, the 113.5 there on the hards. So not too bad there from the Racing Point driver. We now go on board here with Big Mr. Brown. The coach is just parked. That is definitely one way to get out of the way of drivers behind you. Maybe not the smartest or safest, but I mean, he's out the way nonetheless. This Big Mr. Brown is going to have a lot of traffic in front of him. Luckily, most of these guys are getting out of the way for him, and he should be good for the final few turns here through Sector 3. Alphanese is doing a fantastic job right there. It's very difficult, this Sector 3, if someone's on a flyer, to get out of the way if you're on your in or out lap. But very nicely done by those guys, as Big Mr. Brown will cross the line with an invalidated lap, so that will not count for him. That is unfortunate. It looks like many of our drivers are coming in. I believe Alphanesis will take it down to him here. And the Toro Rosso has just started his lap, coming through turn number 1 and now 2. I have to get really heavy right there on the throttle and set yourself up for this long DRS straight. And while we have a little bit of a break in the action here for our qualifying session, take a quick look at the point standings. We have Deluxe Cord sitting up in P1 with Vexing Track right behind him in second place around the championship. Deluxe Cord is just zooming up the championship standings right now. He's 49 points ahead of his closest rival, Vexing Track. Behind them, though, very closely contested, Redeemer sitting in third, followed by Funky Cactus in fourth, Orange Crush in fifth, We have PP9 Magic there in 6th, then Big Mr. Brown, Dark Ghost, Father Corn, and PPR Ollies rounding off our top 10. Unfortunately, Ollies was unable to make it here tonight. But looking at the constructor standings, it is still a lockout with the Racing Point drivers for first place, followed by the Haas team of Deluxe and Groggy. Just short 7 points. Oh, as it looks like Alphanesis has gone off. Luckily enough, able to keep that on track and not into the wall. Oh, and as I say that, taking a hit in the wall. And that's one thing you have to be careful of, not to pull a Valtteri. We saw Bottas do that last season through turn 1. Taking quite the slide, and it's very easy to do if you do not hit that apex and the exit out of turn 1 just right. But luckily for Alphanesis, he was able to save the car, but will not be able to complete another lap. Presumably he's going to come back in for another set of tires there. Looks like we have Orange Crush now diving his way in the pits. Night Shrimp has retired from the session. That is very odd from him. Fantas has already done 5 laps on his softs. Presumably he got no practice in this week, and he is just trying to get in some flyers. We will just sit on board here, as I believe Deluxe Cord will actually be our next set of drivers. See if he can best his time of a 1:11.9 here. Right back out on the soft, so he is going for it all. Looks like he did not invalidate through turn 1, so very nicely done there from the Haas driver. He now takes it down the long DRS straight here at Germany. And unfortunately there for Sprightly, looks like he's been disqualified from the session as Deluxe scored his best of his time by half a second. That is unfortunate for Sprightly. They're now taking on board here with Father Corn. Looks like he is going to abandon his lap and go for another. But very sad there for Sprightly. So he's going to be starting at the back of the grid. We'll keep it on board here now with the Alfa Romeo of Father Corn. And yeah, Sprightly already hitting it up in our Discord chat that he was DQ'd. Sad day right now for the Mercedes team, as neither one of their drivers have set a time and one will not be able to. But so far so good here for Father Corn on his lap. Going to get as much throttle as he can out of the exit right here. And very quick into this flying right-hander. Doing very nicely to stay away from that gravel. It can definitely catch you out. See if he can improve on his time here and get himself within the top 3, maybe even P2 above SF. And yes, he can. 3 tenths ahead of the Renault driver of SF, who looks to be out on his set of mediums. I believe he set his first time on softs. So we're going to see if he can best that time. Maybe he was taking it easy on his prior banker lap, so that he might have a chance to improve here with the harder compound of tire. And looks like SF was, but only by 2/10 there, but still he will be able to start on the mediums if those are his tires of choice. We're now taking on board with Rock Lobster, half a second up already through Sector 1. Very nicely done here from the Ferrari man. See if he can get himself in the top 10. Still 3 drivers yet to set a time. That is PB9 Magic, Funky Cactus, and Orange Crush. We just have 3.5 minutes left to go here in the session. And unfortunately for Rock Lobster, he will be pulling it in the pits. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to set a time right now. Maybe going to put another set of tires. Still has enough time to get back out there and set one last flying lap. We're now on board with the man himself, Mr. Funky Cactus. Going to be looking to get some solid points here tonight for the Race Point team so they can stay ahead in the constructors standings. But in order to do so, he's going to have to put together a solid lap time here. This will be his last chance of the night. Don't think, even if he were to come into the pits for whatever reason, he's going to be able to get another lap time out. So this is going to be all he's got here on the mediums. And it looks like he is backing off just a little bit, taking it pretty slow there. Might be setting himself up maybe for one last run here on the mediums. Maybe he's planning to go for 2 runs instead of 1. But nonetheless, he will cross the line now. There's a 1:13, and that was an invalidation. So yeah, he set himself up for one last run, getting it very clean there through turn number 1. But as he does that, we'll take it on board here with LDR Redeemer crossing the line and actually starting out on another lap. So a lot of these corners catching some of our drivers out right now. We go on board now with Vexing Track, and that's going to be P4 for him. We now have Groggy Oregano crossing the line. We'll just now keep it on board with Funky Cactus. So he's going to be the leader of this group right now. As all of our drivers get their final times in, Funky really has to get it right here. Doesn't have any margin of error. It's a clean exit. And sets a time for P3 as PV9 Magic right behind him goes P3, beating him out by 3/10 on the softs, we do have to say. As LDR Redeemer now goes a 112.9. A very solid lap there from him. Like we have Groggy about to cross the line. Toro Rosso, I believe, Alphanesis just getting his lap time out. And Groggy presumably going to go again after being a second and a half off the pace there. Big Mr. Brown going P2 in the McLaren. See if he can keep that time. I presume that he will. But I believe that's going to be Big Mr. Brown's first top 3 in qualifying. Deluxe scored, not improving on his time whatsoever. And take it on board here now with Father Corn. Can he get himself within the top 3? Oh, he cannot. That's still going to be P5 for him. Looks like Redeemer's going slow on his lap, so we'll keep this on board now here with Alphanesis. And looks like he's going pretty slow right there. Like he may have invalidated. Orange Crush is off the circuit. And I believe Alphanesis has invalidated his lap. He's going pretty slow. So that should be the end of our qualifying session. Take it down, see if any of our other drivers are still pushing. Looks like Groggy still is. See what he crossed the line at here. That's only going to be at 113.4 SPP 11. He will have free choice of tire before the end of the race, but that should be our session over. All of our drivers should be hopping into the pits. For some reason, we have the Mercedes, I believe, of Jules still out here on a lap. Luxcord still out as well for whatever reason. Cody's has opted not to bring their AIs into the garage. And this may have a massive effect on their tire wear, I have to say. Because unfortunately, after you finish your last lap, Cody's does not keep your tire wear at the moment you cross the line and you get your car taken over by AI. They don't keep that tire wear, so that tire wear is the extra additional lap the AI does with no type of wherewithal for keeping your tires in some sort of shape for you before the race. So that might affect Deluxe Core and a few other guys that got left out there. But here we go down the order. So Deluxe Core, Big Mr. Brown, Fantas, P9 Magic, Father Corn, all in the top 5, starting on the softs. Deluxe scored half a second from Big Mr. Brown, but congrats to Big Mr. Brown. I believe that is definitely his first top 3 qualifying session. But then the back of our 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th drivers, all in the mediums, and that is Funky Cactus, SF, Vexing Track, LDR Redeemer, and Alphanesis. And behind them we have Groggy, Night Shrimp, Orange Crush, The Coach, Jules, Rock Lobster, Dark Ghost, and Sprightly. Unfortunately, Dark Ghost unable to qualify because of his quality ban, and Sprightly being disqualified from the session. Very sad to see from him, but we'll take a quick break as it looks like we are definitely going to have that dry race, as I've been told by our weatherman down on the track. But we will take a brief 30-second break before the start of the formation lap. I'm PPR Nick, and I'll be right back with you guys. As we are back, and all is silent on the grid. So hopefully nothing going wrong with Cody's here. But as I believe we have lost the man, Rock Lobster. So we will actually take a quick second, as hopefully this is not the second week in a row running for the D4 guys that their lobby does not want to work after qualifying. But yeah, it definitely looks as I see someone flying through for this formation lap, that we're definitely going to have a restart of the lobby. So give us a brief few seconds and we will get this started right back for you guys. there's nowhere on their tires whatsoever, so they might have to start on the softs, but they are starting on fresh softs nonetheless. So that might play a little bit of an advantage to them. However, I am still going with it that the mediums are still going to be the best tire in the race. However, drivers like Deluxe Cord, who was half a second faster in qualifying, may still show that. Nonetheless, those softs are going to work out for him by the end of the race. As it actually looks like some of our drivers did not start on the correct tires, so that will be seen by the stewards post-race. But here we go down the order. So we got Deluxe Cord here on pole. Then followed back from him is Big Mr. Brown in the McLaren. And we got Father Corn here in the Alfa Romeo, followed by Funky Cactus in P4, SF 1776 in the Banana Boat here sitting in P5. Vexing Track right behind him. These Racing Point drivers are currently holding the lead in the constructor standings, however, just by 9 points over Haas, and that could change tonight. And behind them is LDR Redeemer, who has been out-qualified by his teammate this race weekend. And we have Alphanesis right behind them in P8, followed by Groggy and Night Shrimp in 10th. The back of the order is Orange Crush here, sitting in 11th, followed by the one and only, the coach, Banana Boat Boy himself, and then Run the Jewels here, 13th, Mercedes, Rock Lobster, 14th, Dark Ghost, Sprightly, PV9 Magic, and Fantas, rounding out the rest of the grid, as we now see all of our drivers lining up for the start of the race. And here we go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And away we go. Rock Lobster jump starting, but looks like Deluxe Cord has gotten a decent start. Big Mr. Brown cutting the corner entirely. We're going to go down the rest of our grid and make sure everyone else got through safely. And it looks like no carnage through turn 1. Very nicely done there from all of our drivers. Deluxe Cord getting out to a fantastic start here. Father Corn battling right on the back. We go down the order of our drivers. Groggy gets to look at a great view here as everyone's going too wide into the very sharp hairpin here. We're going side by side with Vexing Track and LDR Redeemer here in the McLaren. The Redeemer throwing it down the inside. Father Corn getting out the way. And now he's going to go side by side here with Redeemer. Redeemer's going to pick up P5, some aggressive driving there from him. And it looks like Vector Track now is going to get around Father Corn. Father Corn diving down the inside of him. And they're taking it very quickly here. Got to keep it safe, as there is no room for errors. As thin as the track layout is here, but looks like Vexing Track is going to get that move done. Fantas has gone spinning, and he is off. See if he maybe opts to hop into the pits, but that is horrible, as he was gaining up the grid very nicely there on the softs. Back on board here with Father Corn sitting behind the Race Point driver, Vexing Track. The Lux Cord already over a second up in the lead. He's going to be looking to just run away with it here. It doesn't look like Vexing Track is going to try a move. He's too far back here on the McLaren driver. We still have quite a long way in the race, so guys probably setting up a DRS train for each other later on after lap 3. But Dark Ghost already up into P8 now in the Red Bull, starting from the back of the grid. But here we go. 3 laps in the race now. It is Deluxe Cord sitting in first. Big Mr. Brown, Funky Cactus, and right here on board with SF. So we will have DRS enabled this lap for all of our drivers. Oh, is SF getting a little bit out of shape right there. Very well done by him for keeping the car in a straight line. He could have easily veered off into a barrier, and that could have been the race done for him, as he is looking to get himself a podium finish tonight. It looks like Vexing Track's getting a tremendous run here on Redeemer, but can he make a move? Oh, looks like he might have shifted down into the neutral right there, and that cost him a lot of time. Oh, it looks like we have a Ferrari. I believe that is Night Shrimp, quite possibly off. Oh, and LDR Redeemer catching the back end right there. Vexing Track all on the back of that gearbox. He's been putting all the pressure on him. Oh, and it looks like he's going to dive down the inside. Very optimistic there. It's going to be very hard for him to get a pass done here through Sector 3. Probably going to set himself up and stay as close as possible and out the exit of Turn 1 so he can set himself up for the DRS straight. The Redeemer looks to be having some sort of handling issue. That car is getting him all out of shape, as you see right there. He's getting a 3-second time penalty. You see Jules as well picking up one himself. See if there's anything that Vexing Track can do here. LDR Redeemer already holding the outside. That's going to lose him time no matter what. Even if DRS wasn't enabled, he's just going to have to give away that position. But now we got to watch out for Dart Ghost. Right behind them, Dart Ghost showing that he is very pacey today. As Father Corn and Groggy also going side by side. Looks like Father Corn has given that place up to Groggy. So back on board here with Dart. We have quite the train going here between 5th through 7th and also 3rd place. Oh, and that is horrible. Dart, he almost goes off the circuit. They're doing very well to keep it in line. As we see Vexing Track trying to hold off a Redeemer in the McLaren. We now have another battle between the McLaren and Racing Point, as that is Funky Cactus on Big Mr. Brown here. But Big Mr. Brown is trying to keep his position. Granted, he is on the soft, so he's going with that Contra Strat here tonight. And we'll take it on board here now with SF, who is right on the back of them as well. Looks like Night Shrimp once again has gone off there. Oh, no. I believe that might be Father Corn as well. Big Mr. Brown is going wide now. Funky Cactus down the inside. SF down the inside. And Big Mr. Brown will be caught out because he has no DRS, and he's lost 2 places in the matter of seconds. He's going to try to do his best to get a great exit out of here. And he slotted himself right behind the Renault of SF. SF leaving him some room. That's pretty optimistic for the McLaren driver. Big Mr. Brown thinking he's going to get enough space right there, as he cannot. So he's going to slot himself into 4th place. And presumably, maybe those softs starting to fall off a little bit for him as he starts to catch some massive tire wear. They do not last very long here at Hockenheim. We can already see it. He's falling back, and SF is trying his hardest to get a gauge here on Funky Cactus and see what he needs to do to be able to get an overtake done. As we can already see the Ferrari of Night Shrimp all the way back. Looks like he's starting to get lapped here. That's unfortunate for him, as he had that off on the final turn just 2 laps ago. Ooh, Deluxe Cord already picking up a 3-second time penalty. But here we go, SF down the inside now, opting not to wait for the DRS straight. See if Funky Cactus can fight him back here. He's now going to have DRS enabled. And Big Mr. Brown also not too far back from these guys as well, so they got to be careful and watch out for the McLaren driver. It looks like Funky is just going to take that move. Oh no, Big Mr. Brown making contact with SF. SF very lucky to be able to save that, but that's now going to give Funky Cactus the ability to bridge this gap, and that is not what SF wanted. Big Mr. Brown is going too deep there and giving SF just a little bit of a tap, and that cost him about half a second. But nothing that's probably going to catch the steward's attention post-race. So SF's just going to have to battle on here. we'll take it back down here to the other McLaren Racing Point battle, as this is really starting to be the battle of the constructors tonight, as the Luxcord is already hopping in the pits. Possible two-stop. See what he comes out with here. Oh no, and big Mr. Brown is off. He's gonna have to wait, see if he can get that car back on the track and not just disqualified for going the wrong way, as he most likely could. Oh, and he's disqualified for blocking pit lane. He was just too, I don't even have a word for it. Just too hesitant, you would have to say. And it went from him possibly getting a podium finish to being last place. And there you see it, he has left the session, but back on board here to the action. SF in the Renault is now trying to fight his way up, and we now have a double Racing Point 1-3 right here, as SF is the only one in between them. They're now coming up to the lapped, or going to be the lap Ferrari of Night Shrimp. It has been a horrible day so far for the Ferrari team. We're only 7 laps into this race. Rock Lobster in 15th, Night Shrimp in 17th. It is not looking too good for those guys in the race currently, but who knows, a safety car could help them out at some point here in the race. Oh, and there goes Night Shrimp, and there goes a safety car, as he pulls himself right out of turn 1 and completely pulls the ultimate 1000 IQ strat to get yourself out of a race that you are not really competing so hard in. And that is clip that apex hard, which I presume Night Shrimp definitely didn't do. Just having a little bit of fun here. That is unfortunate for him. He's just had a rough day. Wasn't able to handle the car as well as he would like. But see how this plays out in the favor of all these guys up top. Deluxecord might be on the back foot now, as he's already pitted, put it on mediums. He's got to lap in on him, as these guys can definitely put on hards, go to the end of the race, as I presume anyone with a good strat man will do that, and possibly Deluxe as well, but he's going to be way on the back foot and have to make his way up the order. So now just wait for all of our guys to catch up to the safety car, but this gives us a quick chance to run down the order. So yeah, it's Funky Cactus, SF, Vexy Track, top 3, followed by LDR Redeemer, Dart Goes, PB9 Magic, Groggy, Alphanesis, Orange Coach, and the Coach. Rounding off the top 10, Sprightly, after getting disqualified from qualifying, finds himself sitting P11. Oh, and Funky not pitting. SF is neither one of the Racing Points hopping in the pits. Neither is McLaren of Redeemer. Dargos has hopped in. So has Magic. Groggy as well. Alphanesis looks like he's staying out. Orange Crush in. So it is half and half really throughout the grid. Whether they're pitting or not, Deluxecord, maybe the man that matters here. Who's leading the race, came in early. He's going to two-stop tonight. Stays out. He's sticking to his strategy. But interesting to see that both of the Racing Points stayed out there. As, I mean, I really got to say, I would have gone on the hards there, but doesn't look like really any of our drivers thought that way. Sprightly going on the softs, Orange Crush on the mediums, Groggy on the hards. So only one of our drivers really going on the hards there. SF went on the mediums as well. It looks like a lot of our guys, besides Groggy there and the Haas, are going to opt for the two-stop here in the race. Let me know in chat what you guys think about that, because I would have definitely figured probably hards till the end of the race, make them work, because I'm just one, the softs just wear off too quick and mediums die off pretty hard at the end. You just put on hards to go to the end here. But that is not what our drivers have selected today. So we'll see how these two stops work out for them and see where Groggy can place. He's currently sitting at P10. See how the rest of his race goes, and if this can maybe get him within the top 5 by the end of the race. We just await the safety car to come back in. Let the rest of our drivers throughout the circuit catch up to the safety car. It looks like has Alphanesis passed the coach under safety car? Got a quick glimpse of that quite possibly happening. Or maybe just returning places that were already lost. But it is quite the play here. So this is definitely playing in the hands of Deluxe Squad now, as he is 3 laps in on those mediums. He's provisionally stop-wise, maybe P1, even though he does have to stop one more time here in the race unless he can somehow stretch out these mediums till the end, which I highly doubt he could do. But I will not leave anything short there for the Haas driver and our current drivers champion in first place, and last year's driver's champion as well. But you also have to watch out for SF. He's on the mediums, fresh mediums. Dark goes PV9 Magic on the softs want to be getting themselves up the grid very fast. So it is going to be quite the battle between all of these guys. Strategy-wise, the safety car is in this lap. Funky Cactus getting to lead us off. His teammate Vexing Track right behind him. As unfortunately, we are 1 McLaren short now between this Racing Point McLaren battle. So Redeemer's going to have to give them all he can plus more, since Big Mr. Brown's not there to fight with him in the top of the grid. But here we go off now with Funky Cactus. He's going to lead us off here, and it looks like he is a go. His teammate Vexing Track also getting a good start with him. Behind we got Redeemer and Alphanesis. Alphanesis already taking a peek here through turn 1. Knows the space not there, but definitely start setting up a move. Oh, as it looks like Redeemer's already going to go down the inside here of Vexing. Vexing going very wide, presumably just leaving the space, but Redeemer has to be careful not to get pushed off the circuit right there, which is very easy to do. He's going to go down the inside. That's a full sin there from the McLaren driver. Vexing leaving just enough space. Alphanesis going off circuit. He's going to have to regain, or rejoin I should say, and he does properly right behind those 2 drivers. Don't want to pick up an illegal advantage. Oh, but it's Alphanesis all in the back. You also look at the coach as well. The coach looks like he may have tapped Alphanesis there, as he's going to put himself into 4th place and keep the spot, so maybe he didn't. But now it's Dart Ghost out of nowhere down the inside, and that's Alphanesis into the gravel. Oh, it's SF. Alphanesis is falling back completely. It's a battle here between him and Renault. They got to keep this very careful, guys. Wheels touch Alphanesis. Oh, and there goes the coach off the circuit. And SF now around Alphanesis, but he just saw his teammate in the other banana boat swirling off into the distance and into the back of the order. But Alphanesis has had a horrible few sectors now, and he's falling back massively. But hopefully he can regain this back here. But quite the exciting restart here after the safety car. Some great battles. It looks like Alphanesis, those mediums are just falling off for him. Deluxe Squad now already finding his way around. Looks like Redeemer up top. We see that battle as well. Dart goes sliding down the inside of Redeemer. Here goes Deluxe Squad as well. They're going to go side by side. And it looks like Deluxe is going to get that done. But Redeemer and Dart goes having quite the battle. But Dart with the softer, fresher tires. Looks like he's going to get around here. Redeemer in the slight nudge into that gearbox there of Dart goes. Now looks like Alphanesis has been overtaken by PV9 Magic, so those mediums not doing him any good, as we have quite the train rolling between all of our drivers. As we look on board now here with SF, and he's going to have to get a move done here quick on Redeemer. Redeemer diving in the pits, making that very easy for him, but SF is going to have to be pretty careful and looking at his back mirrors, as here comes Deluxe Squad fighting back for his top spot. Definitely have to agree with you there, Bryce, in the chat. Yeah, what a wild restart here. We're kind of seeing the strategy battle start to play out before our eyes here, as let's hope the Racing Points don't do anything crazy to each other, as they are going to look at a crazy Red Bull driver there of Dart Ghost, because he went full send and had no room, but quite possibly knew he wasn't going to make a move. He's just trying to get as close as he can to these guys and potentially set up his move in the next few corners As those softs, you can already see the pace that Dark Ghost has. And he's going to want to get up as far as he can. But Vexing Track, now he's saying no, sir. He knows that he's going to have to hold off this Red Bull. Because both racing points going for that one stopper and Dark on the 2. They know he has the pace, so keep him behind. And don't allow him to get ahead. That way they don't lose any time on track when it comes to stops. But this is really hurting Dark Ghost right now, as we can see. Oh, SF really catching the back end right there. Almost losing it. Looks like Alphanesis now is diving in the pits, and Dark Ghost is diving down the inside of Vexing Track. Not able to make the move here. But they should have DRS here. Yes, they do. He's going to go on the outside, choosing not for the slipstream. Now taking the slipstream advantage that he wants. See if he can get the dive down. Vexing defending almost down the inside, just still leaving the door open, and that's enough. And there's SF as well, getting the place on Vexing Track. That's going to be P3 now for the Banana Boat Boy, but Vexing Track says, I have something else to say about that, but just doesn't have the grip, and that's going to be a 3-second time penalty for him. He's going to have to be careful defending like this. That could definitely lose him spots, but out of nowhere now is Deluxe scored. He's right behind these guys. And he's going to get around Vexing Track now for P4. Vexing Track's going to have to be careful now because he's got the Williams of PV9 Magic right behind him in on the softs. As first through 6, very tightly contested so far. Dark Ghost has now picked up a 3-second time penalty, but a lot of our grid has, so probably start ignoring those 3-second time penalties for the rest of the race, as I know all of you guys here on stream can definitely see it when it pops up. But Dark Ghost plotting his move here on Funky, got past his teammate of Vexing earlier in the lap, and looks like he's going to do it to the other race point driver. Funky looking for the switchback. Doesn't look like he can get it, just not on these old mediums, and that's going to be Dark Ghost now. Hopefully he's going to try to pull out as much of a gap as he can, as SF nearly getting into the gearbox there of Funky. That was very deep. And Deluxe score now right behind them. 8 laps in on his mediums. He's got a little bit more life in them than Funky does, but SF a little bit fresher there with just 6. Beautiful little wing shot here of the action. Deluxe going to be plotting his move here on these guys. But it looks like Funky starting to get a little bit more life into him, and he is not letting Dark Ghost out of his sights at all. Dark Ghost not pulling out the gap that he would have wanted. And there goes Funky's teammate of Vexing in this lap. Oh, and there goes Deluxe Cord, sliding it down the inside. Looks like he's picked up P3, and SF now to be sliding himself right behind these guys, but you also got to be wary. Dark Ghost defending very hard down the inside. No room there for Funky to go. And Dark Ghost now sliding back just a little bit, still leaving enough room. Deluxe trying to go around the outside. SF now down the inside of Deluxe, and it is a very tightly contested battle here up in the top 4, all on different strategies, different tires and tire wear. And it's all coming out to play now. Just nothing going right now for Deluxe. He still looks to get past Funky. Cactus. Presumably Funky is going to pit on this lap. And yes, he does after his teammate pitted the last lap. So that's going to promote Deluxe into second and SF up here into third, as Funky should come back around P11 or 12. So we are now halfway through the race, and it has been quite the thriller. Run the Jewels has retired from the session. Oh, and he's gone off through turn 1. But no safety car for that, as we saw previously in the race. But Dark Ghost getting contested now here from Deluxe, and it looks like Deluxe is going to make his way through. Both these guys presumably still having to stop in the race. And and SF right behind them. So quite the shakeup from what we saw in qualifying, other than a deluxe cord being in first place. The PV9 Magic now still in the Williams, still sitting back. Hasn't really been in any action, but's been behind it the whole time. Finds himself in P4 now in the Williams. He is 8 laps in on these soft tires. See how long he sticks this out, as well as Dark Ghost. Looks like, yeah, both these guys on the softs now pulling in, presumably for the mediums to go till the end of the race. So it's really going to be a battle to see how long Deluxe Core and SF stay out on track, as neither one of these drivers are going to be able to take those tires till the end. Which, if anyone watched the stream of the D2 race, I said about Money Hussard, the race winner, when he put on hards on lap 2. So who knows? I mean, I've seen some drivers do some crazy things, but we'll see how this plays out for them in the end. But I'm going to presume they still have to stop. Looks like Fontes now getting around Groggy. Groggy just giving away that place as he now sits in P4 in the Toro Rosso. Fontes in P3. It looks like PV9 Magic now is getting mobbed from the Racing Points. He's braking very late into that turn, leaving just enough space there for Vexing Track. But PV9 Magic coming out right in front of them, so his strategy has played out very well, as he didn't battle with any of these drivers, picked up time, and after they pitted, still stayed out, pitted 2 laps later, and he's gotten the massive overcut on these guys. So sitting P8, he's going to have to do all he can to keep off both of the Racing Point drivers. Oddly enough, both of them opted for the hards instead of the mediums. You can definitely take the mediums till the end of the race. But with that being said, I take that back. They started on the mediums, they didn't pit. So I'm just talking nonsense. Magic locking up, but it looks like he's starting to bridge the gap here between the Racing Point drivers. We'll take it back up here with Groggy. Doesn't look there's anything doing there here with him and Fontes, number 1-3. So we now just sit and wait and see how strategies play out. Dark Ghost sitting P7 has quite the ways to make up after shortly finding himself in P1 just a few laps prior. And this will also come down to penalties. You have to think a lot of our guys have all picked up multiple 3-second time penalties, so by the end of the race, that could be all that decides our top 3 drivers. As we now see Father Corn opting to come to the pits for his final stop, presumably of the race, as he's picked up a 5-second time penalty, speeding in pit lane. That's definitely going to hurt the Alfa Romeo team. But Dark Ghost is flying up the field, just now setting the fastest lap of the race. We'll take a quick look at position changes so far. You see Fantas up 15 spots, Dark Ghost 9, PV9 Magic up 10. Those are definitely our big winners so far in the race. Talking about big winners, it looks like Dark Ghost trying to pick up another spot, make that 10 up the grid. Taking a little bit of a touch here with Alphanesis, leaving just enough space, and Alphanesis concedes as Dark Ghost now finds himself up into P5. Looks like Alphanesis, yeah, on those hards is starting to fall back just a little bit. Looks like Dark Ghost is going to try to creep up now on Groggy. He is 6 seconds behind, and Dark Ghost is flying up the field. It's a 114.7, and he is doing all that he can right now. But unfortunately for him, Alphanesis gets a great run on him with DRS. So even though Dark Ghost is setting these fastest laps, Alphanesis is going to stay in that slipstream and really give Dark Ghost a lot of trouble, as these guys are not really fighting too much. They're kind of doing the best impressions as if they were teammates of a slipstream train and not hurting either one of themselves as they work their ways up the grid. A little sister team action from the Red Bull and Toro Rossos here, but as I say that, Alpha Nice is definitely looking for a move there. So still racing hard, but not hard enough to cost either one of them too much time on track. As there we go, Deluxe Cord has hopped into the pits. Presumably he's going to come out about P11 after his stop. As I may be wrong, it could be around P10, P11. We'll wait and see, but that's going to promote SF up there in the first place. See if he stays out a little bit less laps on his mediums. So maybe he's going to try to bail it out to the end, and looks like Deluxe P7 out of pit exit. So he's going to have 12 hard laps of racing to make his way up on the grid, and we already see him. First guy up is PV9 Magic there in the Toothpaste Williams. And Deluxe Cord looks to get that done as we see Dark Ghost and Alpha Nice fighting once again. And that is not what they want to do, because now they have to worry about Deluxe Cord and the Haas right behind them. So we'll take it back up. They are showing no mercy between each other. We might have seen the past 2 laps. Alpha Nice is trying to dive down the inside there. And this is the wrong time for these guys to be fighting, because Deluxe Cord has already gotten within their 1 second gap that he needs, as SF is opting not to stay out, so he's going to find himself back as well. We saw Deluxe Cord come out P7 after his stop. Let's see where SF can come out after his. But Deluxe with DRS getting it once more. Alpha Nice as well has gotten tremendous runs on the straights here. It looks like, yes, SF has also come out P7, just barely above Vexing Track, but SF has been given 8-lap-old medium tires, so presumably he did not have enough, as Dark Ghost now getting passed up out of Deluxe Cord. Deluxe Cord trying to get 2 moves done in 1. Oh, him and Alpha Nice touch wheels. That's a pretty tight racing right there. But Deluxe Cord gets the position. Alpha Nice now battling it out here, trying to get around Dark. Dark trying to get around Deluxe Cord. And Deluxe Cord trying to hold both of them off at once. Deluxe goes very wide, presumably picking up a warning right there. He's going to find himself in P3, and this might be the first Haas 1-2 of the season that we've seen. If Groggy can keep himself up there and steady in second place. But now it is all up to the Deluxe Cord. He's got 6 seconds to make up in 10 laps. Definitely not out of the realms of reach, as the top 2 guys of Fantas and Groggy are on very old, hard tires. Presumably Groggy's just going to get out of the way of his teammate when that time comes. But Dark Ghost still has DRS, so he's still going to try to make a fight up here with Deluxe Cord. Maybe give him a tough time trying to make his way back up in the first place. But there's nothing going for him. PV9 Magic out of nowhere trying to take on Alpha Nice, and he gets it done off track, it looks like, but not going to give that position up. Alpha Nice is going to look to go down the inside. Oh, Magic, big lockup there. This could be the chance that Alpha Nice needs if he can get a good exit right here, but no. He's going to let off and let PV9 Magic go through. Looks like we have a Red Bull off to Sector 1. That looks like that is Orange Crush. Hopefully he is not retired on track. Car is not moving, so presumably he's definitely crashed. His car is already gone, so we cannot see him, but there goes the Deluxe Cord on Groggy. Groggy giving up that position without any fight, so it'll be up to Groggy now to hold off Dark Ghost for 9 laps and keep that 1-2-3 finish here for the Haas team. So now take it down to the racing points. The 1 point also saw themselves in the top 3, but as it stands right now, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get on those top steps here tonight, unless maybe a safety car or time penalties can bail them out. So very tough for those guys on track. The Haas team definitely looking like the winners of the race so far. Just 9 laps to go. It looks like SF did pit once more, and that is got to be upsetting for SF because he's pitting for fresh tires, and the ones he got put on were the ones he started off the race with. Those are 8-lap old mediums. I'm not too sure what that was about. Maybe didn't have an extra set in the garage is what I'm presuming, as that will happen. And looks like Jeff just let him down. So SF, who was looking quite possibly to get a podium finish here tonight or battle up there in the top 5, just not gonna happen here. And we'll take this back up here with Dark Ghost, as I completely fumbled through all of our camera angles. Back up here with Dark Ghost here in the Red Bull. Gonna be too far back to make a move right now on Groggy, but Groggy is definitely alert that he is there, and he does not want to lose out on this podium. That would do wonders for Haas and get them to jump up above Racing Point in constructor standings. That's probably going to be the fight that goes till the end of the season in Abu Dhabi for these two teams. But right now the fight on track is between Dark Ghost and Groggy. And Groggy already defending for his life. You know that Dark Ghost is going to go for whatever gap he sees. Very Max Verstappen-esque, hence why he is in that Red Bull and rocking the number 32. One off from the number of the man himself, Max Verstappen, who rocks 33 in the real F1. So DRS enabled here. They fly through turn 1. DRS once more as they hop down into turn number 2. Groggy just throwing a slight defend, but it looks like that caught him a little bit out of sorts. He goes a little bit too wide now into turn 2, but DRS enabled. Groggy will not have it. And also PB9 Magic getting in on this as well. See if Groggy shoots for the inside move. Yes, he does. Looks like he's going to get that done. And yes, he will get it done. But now Groggy's got to be careful for PB9 Magic right behind him. Magic looking for a move. Groggy might lose 2 positions in 2 turns. Or 3, excuse me. And yes, he will. Groggy just unable to fight on those much older hards. Did all he could, but nonetheless, this is now going to be a battle for 3rd and a battle for 1st here. Fontes is going to have to do all he can on those hards. 19 laps in, and he's got our drivers, our current drivers champion, current points, 1st in the points deluxe board. Might have been scrambling words just a little bit there, but I think everyone understands what a tall task our current race leader has in front of him for the next few laps here in the race. As SF has now gone fastest lap of the race, so I mean, a little bit of consolidation points there for the Renault team, as that's going to be one to add to the books. As Magic, not really anything going there for him on Dark Ghost, trying to go around the outside. Haven't seen really too many drivers try that besides the Luxford. We saw him try a move just like that on lap 7, I believe. But yeah, Magic not able to make it stick, so he's still going to be behind Dark Ghost for one more lap. As also Groggy behind them is not falling off too much from the pace. So penalties wise, if he can maybe keep himself within 3 to 5 seconds, he might be able to jump them for the podium depending on how penalties stand right now. Haven't seen Dark Ghost's name come up too many times tonight, but it is all that Groggy might be able to hope for here for a Haas double podium. PB9 Magic looking like just can't get it straight down the straights. I mean, that's really the one move you want to make it on track is after that final DRS zone, and he just hasn't been able to get there on Dark Ghost, and he is locking up a lot, and he's going to lose it. And that's going to get Groggy around him, and presumably the 2 racing points now might be able to fight up with Magic because his tires are probably on fire. He's got to take these next few turns pretty cautiously so he doesn't risk spinning his car back around. But we're going to take this on board now with the Lux Cord. We're on lap 30. Fontes has 4 laps to defend for his life. And that's going to be a tall order for him in the Toro Rosso. And if he can do so, I mean, that will be the drive of the year so far. First things first, he's got to keep off Deluxe through here. Fontes keeping it on the outside. He's not defending whatsoever. He's just going to let Deluxe go by, it looks like, because Deluxe has the inside. He can't defend at all, and he just gave that move away. Whether that was intentional or not, that's dropped him down into P2, and that's going to give Deluxe all the room in the world to fight. But yeah, Fanta's trying to go back down the inside, and just by seeing him try to take back P1, yeah, that was definitely not just a giveaway there to Deluxe. Say, hey, take the race win. No, Fantas opted to take the outside line there. Definitely could have defended the inside, made Deluxe's job hard because, I mean, it's so hard to get past anyone here throughout the rest of the track. Now, a lot of guys will definitely take some opportunistic moves, but I mean, it's not what Fantas wanted, and he's already outside that 1 second gap. Luckily, he gets through the DRS detection zone right there, was able to get it, but he will not get it down the straight, and that's what he needs most. So now we'll take it on to the battle for P4 as PB9 Magic's looking to get his place back, but you know who else is trying to pick up some places? That is Funky Cactus, leading the racing points right now. He's got DRS enabled. He's going to go around the outside, which will be the inside coming up to the next turn. Groggy just a sitting duck right now. And we're going to go 3 wide, and it looks like Vexitrack's going to get both overtakes done in 1 turn. But PB9 Magic not going out without a fight, that is for sure. He's going to throw it back down the inside here of Funky. Oh, goes way too deep. Funky nearly getting clipped, but gets position back, and PB9 Magic now quite the battle. But here we go with Vexitrack down the inside of Groggy. Vexing, though, just completely mowing the grass, not really doing any justice for his tires at all. He's still going to say P7. We'll take this back on board with the Toothpaste Williams of Magic. Looks like we have a Ferrari off on the DRS straight, presumably Rock Lobster. He is our only remaining Ferrari tonight. His teammate of Night Shrimp has already retired. It looks like Groggy is falling back. He's now 23 laps in on those hards. Once sitting, P3 has now found himself sitting P7. Still decent points there, but yeah, as we see it, Rock Lobster is off the circuit. He's just parked on the track. He's got to be careful. He's letting all these guys go by, but this is definitely not how you do it. He's now going to get back on the circuit. Yeah, that is definitely not how you want the field to lap you. Just pull off to the side, let him go by. Do not park it on track, but that is what he did. Oh no, and what has gone wrong with Sprightly? Sprightly has gone off the circuit and into the wall. That is quite an odd place. Looks like him and Father Corn as well got caught up into that. I am unsure what happened with both of those guys. That is an odd place to find yourself into the wall. I am unsure what happened with them. Maybe some bad blood. One might have ran the other off the road and into the barrier. Who knows? Definitely see that in the stewards report if that's the case. The back on board here with P9 Magic. He's falling back from Funky Cactus. Funky Cactus still trying to fight himself into podium contention. He's 2.2 seconds back here from Dart Ghost. Got nothing to lose. Got to put it full send now. No doubt. As Dart Ghost is going to try to hold on to his final spot, it looks to be, of the night, unless he can somehow catch up with Fontes, but being nearly 6 seconds back, don't see that as a possibility. Just have 2 laps remaining, but LGR Redeemer now into the pits, so presuming that Redeemer, Father Corn, and Sprightly all got caught up in an incident there. And like I said, that's something definitely we're going to see in the stewards reports later in the race, which is very odd to see. Those guys are usually all in an Xbox party together, you know, having some fun, some laughs, but as we will ignore that for now, and we are now on the last lap of the race. PB9 Magic with a 3-second time, but that's not going to help his fight at all, as he's trying to get up into 4th place before the end of the race. The last battle, the watch of the night, it seems like. But just doesn't look like PB9 Magic has it in his car to get this move done. He's now falling back to almost a second. He's going to need Funky Cactus to make some sort of mistake to keep that move, but take it on board now with the Lux Cord. Made his 2-stop work tonight. And we'll see him cross the line, P1, prior to time penalties. Now on board here with Fantas, that is P2. Dart Ghost rounding off into P3. Funky, presumably P4, P3 now because of penalties. PB9 Magic into 6th. Dart Ghost 5th. Groggy 7th. Magic falling all the way down because of multiple time penalties. And now down to the Lonely, the coach, doing the most. He'll finish P10. I'll just give him some love here as he rounds about the rest of the grid. And Rock Lobster as well. But hats off now to Deluxe Cord, P1, after time penalties, finishing 10 seconds plus over Fontes, Funky Cactus in 3rd, finishing off our podium. And then Alpha Nisus finding himself into 4th because of time penalties. Vexing Track and Dart Ghost P6. Almost nothing separating those guys after penalties. That is going to be rough for Dart Ghost. He could have found himself into P4 instead of 6. But nonetheless, some great racing here tonight. We're going to see if we can get our drivers into lobbies for some post-race interviews. Hear their thoughts, their feelings, discuss next week, and see where their minds are after this race. But there you go, Deluxe Cord, yet another win in the books for him. And maybe something that we all could have seen post-qualifying. However, you never know how the race is going to go. Safety car came out, but that was not stopping him. Looks like Alpha Nisus, yeah, our only driver on the grid not to pick up a time penalty. So hats off to Alpha Nisus. That definitely paying off for him in the end. As we will do our moderator PPR Ollies. Quick little favor, get him his screenshots. And we'll now invite these drivers into the lobby. As we are joined by Deluxe Cord and Funky Cactus. Hopefully Fontes can join us in just a little bit, since he had probably my drive of the day. But first, we'll talk here with Deluxe Cord. How you feeling after that race victory?
I felt pretty good. I actually had to work for this one, which was kind of fun. I had to go through a little bit of I had to go through a little bit of traffic, but it was fun. It's fun to go through. But overall, it was a fun race.
Yeah, and I kind of want to know your thoughts after the safety car. So I thought, which didn't come out to happen with really anyone besides your teammate or Groggy, that most of the grid would go onto the hards after that safety car and just go to the end, but most guys went for the two stop. So what were your thoughts on sticking with your strategy, going with the two stop till the end of the race and not going for the hards?
I was just trying to just stay out. Hopefully people will come and pit, but they didn't, so I had to work for it. But it was fun. Uh, I was also hoping that people were gonna pit for a hard, so then I would just drop down the order, so I have to fight my way back up. But that didn't happen. But yeah,
Yeah, man, and still, congrats, you made it work. And then taking on down here to Funky Cactus, I mean, P3. So, a little bit of a hard day for you, but nonetheless, still found yourself on the podium spots.
Yeah, it was pretty tough at the end, especially when me and Vexing were on the hards. But I managed to make my way up to P3 before the end, and yeah, it worked out.
Yeah, and I mean, that's good for you guys in the Race Point team. We'll see how the standings shape out because you and the Haas team are very close on the constructor side. And we'll now take it down to Fantas, however you like me to pronounce your name. Finishing P2. I mean, you started 18th on the grid, came out and finished second in the race. Definitely my driver of the day. So, I mean, how you feeling, man?
Tired.
No doubt, I would be tired as well. All right, nothing else, just tired.
Yeah, I'm sweaty. That's about it.
Trust me, I would be too if I had to pull that off. But nonetheless, I mean, great race by all you guys. Can't wait to see what goes on at Hungary next week. Hopefully someone can fight Deluxe Squad a little bit harder, but we will wait and see. But nonetheless, congrats, guys. That will be the stream for the night. Thanks to everyone who has joined, and I am PPR Nick signing